What's the deal with painless dentistry? Is that even achievable? First, we have to understand what causes pain. Most common procedure that causes pain in dentistry are fillings. And the traditional way of doing fillings is utilizing what's called a dental drill. Now, a dental drill uses rotational energy, all right? And that rotational energy, basically a dental drill is basically something that looks like this. That's a drill, rotational energy. The dental drill that we use is highly specialized, looks like this. A regular drill rotates at a speed of about 1,000 RPMs. A dental drill rotates about 200,000 to 500,000 RPMs. That's pretty fast, all right? So when you have that rotation and it's moving through the tooth using a drill bit, the tooth is actually, we call it, it's cutting the tooth, but if you look at it microscopically, it's not actually cutting the tooth, it's shattering the tooth. The tooth is being shattered. So when something's being shattered, like enamel, that translates to pain. The drilling also creates vibration to the nerve. That translates to pain. The rotation also creates heat. That's why I use a lot of water, and that heat translates to pain. So three things that actually translate these different energies, and they come out as pain to the tooth, all right? So basically, if you looked microscopically, if you actually saw, if you're a tooth and you're looking at this drill coming at you, this is basically what it kind of looks like. The enamel shatters out of the way. It's not cutting, it's shattering it, blowing it out of the way. And all that movement creates pain, and that's why you require a shot. And that's why after the procedure, it's sore, you're gonna be numb for 5 to 8 hours. So all these things with the traditional method. There is another way of doing it, the painless way. In about 85 to 90% of the filling procedures that we do, we can actually do it without any anesthetic whatsoever, because utilizing a laser, what a laser is basically just highly focused light energy, all right? We use a laser, and that laser, because it doesn't translate any heat to the tooth, no vibration to the tooth, and it doesn't actually shatter the enamel, it vaporizes it. And vaporization doesn't translate any negative effects to the tooth. So the tooth just sits there. The only thing a patient generally feels, sometimes it feels a little cold because we use cold water when we utilize the laser. Other than that, it's completely painless, okay? This is kind of what the laser looks like. Right over here, the red light, point it in my hand, and basically that's exactly what I do. I'll just wave it over the tooth. I actually don't touch the tooth with it because it's just utilizing light energy, okay? So this is basically what the procedure sort of looks like. All right, we just take a laser, we point it at the decay of the tooth, and it fires, vaporizing just the decay. Now that's the important part, it's hitting just the decay, because the laser is kind of tuned up to only affect the decayed parts of the enamel, where this thing takes out the healthy part of the enamel and the decay. It cannot specify between the two. Lasers can specify between healthy tooth and unhealthy tooth. That means high accuracy. So when we utilize a dental drill, we are using a type of, the accuracy is about 1/10 of a millimeter. The laser light is about to 1/1 billionth of a millimeter. So that's extremely accurate. So when you have accuracy, you have more longevity, you have less pain. Basically every parameter is better. Now, the laser is not just for doing fillings. It can actually prevent you from ever needing a filling. And that's where the technology can be really leveraged, okay? So you have an area of tooth decay in your tooth, all right? And we see it visually, it's right over here. This dark area over here, that's the actual decay part. That decays in the enamel. So the traditional way is like, hey, you got a cavity. We got to drill it out and put a filling. So what does that entail? Pain. That involves, so I have to give you a shot now. I take out my drill, have at it, put a filling in there. And now you got a filling. Now fillings may not last forever, so you always have to monitor that. So if I can utilize technology that would make it so that way I don't have to do a filling, but I treat this decay, that's amazing. And that again is using laser technology. So I take my laser, you're not numb at all, I wave it over this area for probably about 30 seconds. It vaporizes just the decayed part of the tooth, not the enamel. Once I do that, it might be small enough to where I don't even have to put a filling in there. I can just use what's called remineralizing paste, because tooth decay is a demineralization of the enamel. And that's how bacteria got in. So if I remove the bacteria, I remineralize the tooth, and we get it to a healthy part. So this is the same tooth. There's no filling. We just remove the decayed part of the tooth and then remineralized the actual tooth structure. So now you never even, the decay was treated without a filling, painlessly. And that is the miracle, the marvel of utilizing laser therapy for doing this type of treatment. And that's the deal with doing painless dentistry.